Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. We're going to look at that daily as well as that 1 minute. I'm going to give you several different ways you can go to the chart and just begin to interact with it. All right. So let's see if it's okay to buy. That's the first thing I want to tell you. Also, thank you guys for that have been supporting my prior videos. I know we're dropping off significantly here. So that's my time. All right. Just want to say that to you. So let's make this the last video for you guys for a bit. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'll come back and give you maybe one more, two more, just to see how next year should play out. All right, so we got our live threshold, how far the candle will pull back before resuming. That's that price action trend. Just need to be able to count to 10. That's important. All right. And then the price action method, I use the majority principle, which states that the minority is compelled to follow. That chart scale, I'll teach you how to read your heart right edge so you don't have to look left. All right. You can just look right at the chart and know what should transpire most of the time. All right. So speaking of which, they're right at the center of the chart. Now let's see if they can get above it. Let's just take back off. Now they had a trend. Okay, they set a trend, 7 bars. If you don't know, one, two. They all have to close lower than the prior. Three, four, five, six. That little guy there, and then seven. Ignore this in the middle. All right, it has to be seven closing lower, and vice versa. Seven closing higher. That's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. All right, so that's the trend. That's the trend distance. They didn't make it. They didn't make it. Sometimes they'll feed it to you internally. I want to go ahead and tell you that off the center of the trend. See, the center of the trend is here. They tried to feed it to you from the inside. Sometimes that happens. I just want to go ahead and tell you that so you'll know. Also, when they make the trend, sometimes they'll rotate. All right. So just kind of be careful. Be careful with that. All right. So here's the trend distance. They almost got there. All right. You can kind of see that. They almost got there. Even though they pulled up and made another one, they almost got there. All right. So that's the trend. And they're at the center of the chart. Let's see if they can stay up. Now, if you are interested in buying it, I'm gonna say this, and hopefully I'm right. Hopefully, again, I've told you guys about this on the channel here in this video. I told you when it was going to turn down, and there's snapshots in that video. You can go back and take a look. I even told my private community it would go back up, and they dove right into a zone and went right back up, and there was a zone above, and they went right into that and turned back down. And let's see if I'm right about this. I did tell you guys in this video, I do believe that they can go significantly lower, but that weekly, there's a bar on the weekly I want them to get past, and that's let me just get out of here. That's right about here. I want to see them get past this, which I was hoping they'll get to this trend distance, but they decided to do this. The last time I told you guys that I didn't think that they would get back past this bar. Okay, they managed right after the video, they managed to jump right back up with this big green bar. And I knew they shouldn't get past that bar and that they would blow that low, and they did it. Now I'm gonna say this to you. All right, and let's see. I'm not gonna come right back and cover this. I'm just gonna tell you this, and hopefully, sometime at the end of this year, I'll come back. You know, maybe after the summertime, I'll come back and we'll talk about it. I don't think that they should come back past here if they plan on staying up. And this is just my opinion. Now, here's the only caveat. I would like to see them hold this pivot. Let's say the rest of this month. All right, let's just go with that. Hopefully, they can hold this. All right. So if you're interested in a buy, let's just see if they can maintain this low for the rest of the month. If they're unable to, you may be in trouble. Now, it's not to say moving forward beyond this month that they could, want to turn it back around. I just don't think that they should want to come back past here. Let's just say that. All right, let's see if they can just hold this for a month and continue to make this move to the upside. That's giving them enough time to get up here. All right, that's all I'm telling you. It's giving them enough time to get up here. So this move that they pulled here, okay, I'm gonna just put this here. All right, let's see if they can get up here. And I'm gonna give them a whole month. All right, so they shouldn't break this low. They should not break this low if they're going up. And I'm going to give them the rest of the month. All right, so we're going to go with that. All right, so let me just minimize that. All right, now if you're someone that likes to trade ranges, all right, if you like ranges, and I got some range times here for you, you're more than welcome to take part in this information. It's 12:15 a.m. to 1:45, and then 6:15 a.m. to 7:45. All right, so that's the darker gray and the blue range here. You can use that information, or we can utilize that chart scale. You want to keep them above the center or below the center of the range. That's really the goal. All right, and inside of that window, they will accumulate on you. And I'm gonna scroll through this just a little bit and let you see. They'll absolutely do that. They will slow it down and just beat you up, and just then all of a sudden take off running. Now, if they're really close and they're overlapping one another, remember it's the mids that's important. You may get this valiant type activity. I just want to say that to you. All right. So just kind of keep your eyes on that. Now, I'm gonna give you several different ways to interact with this stuff. All right. And just make this video real brief. So try to bear with me. All right. I got a couple rules here for a moving average. All right. And I'm using the 125 EMA right out the platform. There it is. All right. We're gonna just make it simple. Here's the rules. You can follow along. Just wanted to pivot and do this. Now we want to stop. Okay, let's go with the short before they took off to the upside. They had a level here. All right, they had a level here. I just do a level together for my indicator list for those that want to use it. Here you go. There's the level. Break this without touching that 125. Now, should they do that, you don't want to put your stop behind here where they broke it from. You know, go right behind that. Now, unfortunately, they have the one bar set up. I really don't like the one bars with hiding behind that for the stop in this type of activity. I like two. All right, but it's okay. I mean, they just wanted to make one. This is too far away, so and they kind of was just making one on the way down. Kind of what they're doing on the way up here. So you're finding that they just need to make that pivot and then break it. All right. Now, if you're looking for the sell side, it's this. You just want them to pivot and then break that. Okay. You want them to break it. You want them to break it without touching that moving average. All right. And so here they touch the moving average. You need them to do it without touching it. It's not to say it can't work without that. I just want them not to touch it. All right. I want to make it easy for you. So they, leaned over and they broke it. Okay, well then throw the stop, not here. Put it back here. Just stay away from them. That's all. Just try to, and then when they do it again, come up. All right, and just do it. Follow all the way up. When they turn the corner, you don't, get that kind of activity, and because they're above here, you need them to be below here. All right. They did manage to get below here, but they pivot and came back and touched it. That sucks. All right. Absolutely sucks. All right. So, and then of course, from above, to get down there, you have to use what we just talked about. That's the trend. All right. So you want to get your trend, and then you want to project it. All right. Make it simple. 7 bars. We went over it. I'm not going to go over it again. Rewind the video. All right. You just want to do this. And this is how far the market is planning to go, because the market is like you and I. Whenever you have a thought, you have the end in mind. The market is the same way. It knows what it wants to do. You just need to follow it. All right. So make it simple. All right. So they turned the corner. They kind of gave you everything here. Now, what is everything? All right. Let's talk about that. Majority in the chart is this. All right. So we get a bar mid that can exceed the prior bar. We get a bar's mid that can exceed the prior bar. We get a wick, a large wick. We get a smaller wick. We get a small body. We get a larger body that can fit this bar into it at least twice. That's majority. Now, you're lucky if you can manage to get them to come back to what we call the threshold of the bar. All right. Threshold of the bar right there. Where typically the colored bars, they will do this and then they would do this and then take off. All right. And that's what you want. You want to see if they can get that going on. So they had all three of these scenarios on this bar here coming back off of that trend line. You're going for that much. All right. And they made it. All right. Now, unfortunately, they did this. They put it on this side as well, trying to get you to go back down. All right. Well, it can't be both, people. Look at where they're at on the chart scale. Center of the chart, upper part of the chart, and lower part of the chart. That's your bezel. So this is your upper part, lower part down there. All right. So just divide it in half and then divide it in half one more time. Now, they're doing our scenario. All right. They're doing our scenario. See, there's the level. They broke it without touching the trend line. Notice after they break it, what they do. They lean back over towards you. All right. So just try to see they did it again. All right, so just try to keep that in mind. When they do that, when they break it, it's a good chance. I just want to go and tell you that so you're not surprised. I know today they just kind of pushed on. That's good, but remember, I'm telling you, put your stop, give them a little room. That because most of the time they'll lean back and then they'll go again, and so don't be taken advantage of. All right, so there's a pressure that comes on when this shows up, when that mid get above that high, mid get below that low. Everything that you're seeing on the chart, the little IN, that's trying to find the wicks and the body scenario. It's not perfect, but it's going to try to find it. All right. And I try to make it very simple for you, straightforward, like two indicators you can use to get it to work. All right. Now I got over 300 for $100 if you want it. You don't have to have it. I'm trying to teach you how to read the chart without it. But if you want indications, I got tons of them and I don't want you to waste a lot of money. And it works on the free version of Ninja Trader. Now, for the price of one of the other vendor syndicators that will sell you one for like $300 or $400, you can actually receive education on this channel if you want to further your education beyond what's free. It's important to do so. All right, just want to say that to you. All right, I do have education as well. And again, for the price of what you would spend on one indicator, you can actually become well aware of what's happening with these charts. I teach all types of methods and understanding when it comes to higher time frames, all kinds of stuff. I can't even begin to explain to you without you being on the other side to know what it is that I'm talking about. Nuances that goes on in the chart, how you can know how far they'll trade outside the bar and turn around, all kinds of stuff. All right, so you can know how long something's supposed to happen. So me telling you, hey, I'm waiting for next month, I can tell you, hey, this is what we should do for the next X amount of hours, days. So this is important. Stuff like that is important. All right, so let's get some more information going here. So now, most of the time, when the market is not giving you majority, it does something else, and I'm gonna give you just something simple to go with. Look for this; is all over the chart. When they don't want to do that, they'll do this. All right. So then they'll give you, and it's going to be at least this and 4 bars inside of that one. All right. So it's going to be about 4 bodies, mind you, bodies inside of this one. Whenever they do that, there's an indicator I have. I just don't have it up here for you. It's called manipulation. Whenever they do that, it's a way to trade this. I just can't tell you. But whenever they do that, yeah, it's gonna stall out, and it may even reverse. Okay, now I'm not gonna comb through the chart and find you all these different scenarios of this. You can just, take a look at the chart, try to find it for yourself. But 4 bodies is important, and so that can help with your timing, right? If you know that this can happen, all right, for that long, don't be too eager to, want to go that way. That's all I can tell you. Just give it a moment because there's a good chance that this is a problem. That's all I'll tell you. Now, um, what else I want to tell you? There's something else I want to share with you. Um, breaks, pivot breaks. All right, let's talk about that too. Um, whenever they break pivots, they're gonna come back. I just want to go ahead and share that bit of information with you. See if they can give you two. So let's go to outside the pivot. Okay, let's see if they can give you 2 closes. Okay, outside the pivot. All right, just see. Sometimes they won't do that. Should they be able to do that, you're doing fine. You're doing just fantastic. They pivot here, kind of broke it, then they turned around. They tried to stop here, and you had, two lows that was higher, broke it, turn around. All right, so just be mindful of that. That's all I'll tell you. So you want them to stop, give you the two, and let's go again. All right, so and they was doing fantastic on the way up. I mean, I'll say this here. We had this one here. They, one up, one back down. So just try to watch out for that. They broke this one, they pivot, and then they came right back in immediately. But they was doing fantastic on the way up, just wonderful. So here, they gave you two. See, two. They lifted up, and then they went lower. All right. So just try to keep that in mind. And here you can see they one up, one back down. So just try to keep that in mind. Now here's the interesting thing. They gave you the two, but they didn't want to go anymore. All right. They went a little bit more, but I'm talking about go some more. And then they gave you another one, and then that's when they gave you, that, and then they turned. So that could help you along as well. I'm just trying to give you a lot of little free things that can help you out. You may know this stuff, all right, but I still want to tell it to those that don't. All right. So we got to look out for those that don't know. I don't want them to come into this space and be having, look what they're doing. That body should land right back in here. I don't want them to come to this space and have a hard time. All right, trying to save you some time here. So you got 1, 2, 3, that's 4. All right, see the body is landed right in there. That's that bar. Okay, that's that setup. Okay, and they like to do this for at least that long. All right, for at least that long. Now notice what they did. They broke that pivot and they're leaning back over. All right. Now in this case, again, I would tell you, hey, step back just a bit. See if they can stop here. You kind of had all of it here. See if they can stop here. That's not too far outside of. Let me just move this out the way. Yeah, that's not too far. You got your increase there. Everything is there. Let's just see if they can slow it back down right here and turn it right back around and go right back up above here. They could not want to. They could not want to, but they have a trend. They're still above the center of the chart here, so that makes sense. So our trend is this bar. I'm not going to hold you much longer. Just want to give you a lot of little nuances to this thing. Simple stuff too, not complicated stuff. All right, simple stuff to look for. Help you out. If you're new, you want you to look at the chart and say, "Hey, I can get this to work. It's not complicated." All right, so you want to make $99.21. All right, $99.21, $25,000 trading a year. That can help. That can help a little bit. May not get you, the house and the car, but it can get you, started in the right direction, and that's a good thing. All right, so let's go like this, and that's saying that they would get this far. All right, so that's saying this, and so we're always listening to what price is telling us. That's saying that they would get up here. Now you can go back and check your charts when the video is over. Go back and check your charts, and that's roughly up at 225. 225.75 without coming back breaking this low. What is the low here? You can look in the upper left hand corner here. The low here is 80 and a quarter. And that's saying that they would get up there. Now they're just leaning over and they're trying to do it again. Let's see if they're willing to go even higher. Remember, they'll lean over after they break. After they break the pivot, they'll lean over. They got all of it here. So we got all of the information again showing up. So what is it telling us? That it could go this far. Now the threshold again, it's on the colored bar. This bar is kind of small, so we're not going to worry about that. The colored bar here, let's go with this one. All right, so there's a threshold here, give or take. All right, give or take here. I'm just eyeballing it. Don't really want them back here, but I'm gonna just draw this here. We don't want them back here. We really don't. All right, so if this not going to work, I told you they got the 4. Remember this stuff right here? That's the problem. And they can do more. See, that's more than 4. See, that's 5. So just be careful. Just be careful, okay? Just kind of keep that in mind. All right. So let's see if they'll come here. All right. Let's see. Now, our last ditch effort. I know we got one more colored bar back here, but I don't really want them to go past this. So hopefully I'll just poke their head right in there and just come back that way, hopefully. Well, let's do this. They could want to hold that high. They could. And come down to the center of the chart. All right, they could. I don't want to tell you that they can't. They're coming in pretty hot here. So and the pressure's on. All right, so the pressure's on. So what are they saying about this? They're suggesting. All right, we always listen to the market suggest. What is it suggesting? That it can go this far? That's what it suggests. All right. Let's see if they'll make it. They didn't give us another break of that high, but it's suggesting if this bar closes, where does the bar close? It's saying that it's going to come back here. That's what it's saying. Now, I wouldn't like that if they did that. Here come the big wick. So if this is going to be the big wick, small wick effect, and then we turn back around, they hit our threshold. Here's our threshold here. All right. So they went right in there. Let's just change the color of this. Let's make it green. Let's make it green. All right. So they went in our threshold and they responded. All right. Now the goal is, can they actually turn back around? We're not just wanting the response. We want them to turn it back around. All right. That's all. Let's leave it blue. It's fine. Let's leave it blue. Now there's a threshold on the bar above, and I doubt that they'll want to move up there and touch it. Should they want to continue down, they may not want to touch it. They may want to just go ahead and push on. And sometimes that happens, so don't wait for them to get back there. Sometimes they won't. All right, I just want to share that with you. But here's the threshold here. I mean, we got this one too. I mean, it's kind of one and the same if you ask me. There's a colored bar here. We got kind of got the same thing going on. We can layer that in there. So let's layer that in there too. It's kind of like in the same area if you ask me. Kind of all one and the same. All right. So let's just kind of throw this in there. All right. So it's right there at the upper part of the chart still. So it's not that it can't lift. It's just not wanting to currently. All right. It's still wanting to kind of push down just a little bit. But all of that is lining up there. All right. So we still got our trend. We still got our trend. Our trend is up here. They haven't broke that yet. So we're still hanging out. Now, if you go with the threshold on the color bars from up here, it would be something to this effect. All right. So something to that effect here, just to kind of feed it to you, so you can see it. It's simple. It's not complicated. You just have to know what's important. That's all. And so they got really, really close to it, even touched it. They went right in there, and then they're starting to lean back down. So if that be the case, all we would do, this same distance, they haven't, yeah, they got close. They got close. You can pretty much project that same thing if you would like, or count a new trend. All right, count a new trend because they did make another trend up. So let's see if we can get another trend back down. We're almost there, I believe. So one, two, that's three, that's four, that's five, that's six. That's only six. That's not seven. So we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Here comes the response. We're not there yet. I'm about to go. I just want to go ahead and give you some information to hold on to. All right. When the support dies off, I got to go. I don't like to waste time. All right. So just want to go ahead and give you guys some information, man, because I know it's a lot of stuff on YouTube that, for one, they won't read it in real time. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem all in itself. They managed to pivot. Okay, so they pivot. They broke the pivot. They closed twice. It went a little bit more. Can it go even more? I don't know. We're about to see. They're pulling up to that threshold. Now, if they turn back around, fall through this, I'm absolutely going to go. All right. Again, you want to regard majority. All right. Every professional field has procedures associated with it. All right. Courts have proceedings, doctors do procedures. So when you come to trading, you have to know that you're interacting with professionals at all time. All right. This is not a place where they section off beginners, intermediates, and professionals. The moment you pull the trigger and get into a trade, you are in an environment full of professionals. All right. And I had to find this out the hard way. All right. And I want to tell you just straight out, like, don't let these people on YouTube shooting these videos, and all of that, doing all that streaming their accounts unprofessional. Do you take anyone to the bank to look in your bank account when you're trying to, pay your bills? That's just my opinion. Now, I do have live trades for my private community. I've even done a couple here on the channel, just a couple. Okay, just to give you guys an idea. One contract, take your time. But this is a professional field. Please regard it as such. All right. This is not a game. I don't have prop firm links for you because I'm not going to try to entice you to be entrapped, be trapped into a scenario that won't be advantageous for you moving forward in this business. All right. So hopefully you understand that I'm here to just provide education. That's all. Education that's free, that can work. All right. And that's important. Not to entertain you. That's not what this is about. All right. So hopefully you like what's here and you stick around and go through all the other information that's on the channel. It's quite a bit that I share. One more thing before I go, I'm gonna tell you this. The market, it moves like this. All right. Goes down, goes down. Now I'm exaggerating this. I want to let you know this is the exaggeration. I'm gonna tell you what it is that I'm doing. This is what it's doing. All right. This is what the market is doing. You wish. All right. You wish. I want to tell you that you wish. You wish it just did this all the time. 4 and 5, I'm sorry, 4 and 3 is your problem. Okay. It don't like to do 5 in a row. Okay. So 4, okay, you got 4 and 3 is your problem. It don't like to do 5 in a row. I just want to tell you that. So if you find that these lows, if you get markets that's like this, that's strong, it's strong. Take advantage of it. I want to go ahead and say that to you. Take advantage of it. That's why I'm trying to give you this information here. Take advantage of it because it don't like to do that. Right? It doesn't like to do that at all. All right, just want to share that with you. They're still, still hanging out here. They haven't made it back down here. They're responding to this threshold. All right, give me 1 second. All right, that's my time. I must go, my friends. I absolutely have enjoyed this time with you guys. I will definitely be coming back sometime, afar. But again, thank you so much for spending time here viewing this content. I must go. I have to take this call. A lot of information on the channel. Please take your time, comb through this content. All right. Tell a friend if they have trouble trading, let them know that the channel is here. I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.